did the TANAIM and the AMORAIM have the PARAH ADUMA, the HEPHER PARAH ADUMA? So it seems like they did. Let's take a look. ROSH Zal brings down in Masechet Chulin. If you look there in Perek Chet Siman Dalet, כתב דבר פלא, דבר נפלא, וזה לשונו. בימי האמוראים היו אוכלים תרומה טהורה בארץ ישראל, כי היה להם אפר פרה, כדאמרינן חבריה מתחן בגלילה. So it says here that they used to eat the teruma, and they actually had it. And the ARIZAL nithan be'efra para. It says that he also had it. The ARIZAL כתב החידה ז"ל בספרו מדבר קדמות מערכת א' אות כ"ו, וזה לשונו, מי שרוצה להתקדש ולפרוש מדרכי העולם, whoever wants to be holy and to separate himself from the regular standard way of the world, אף שיטרח טורח גדול לא יעלה בידו, even if he tried to do it, through a lot of work, he may not reach that. כי הטומאות חדשות, because there's a lot of things that are impure, that are new, that are coming around, גם ישנות, and old things, אשר אנחנו ואבותינו פעם היו בעודכנו, כי הטהרה מעכבת. Because we don't have this actual purity, there's always going to be a limitation to what our spiritual growth is going to be. We are never going to feel it until we have that day, which is going to come, when we're going to actually have it. Until that point, we're never going to reach that spiritual point. Once we have it, we're going to reach a high level of Ruach HaKodesh. Just by the sprinkling, everyone reaches a special level of Ruach HaKodesh on it. ובכל תורה וקושי לא משכיל אלא כדמסיק תעלה, ואני בעניותי פשיטה עלית רבינו האריזל ז"ל היה ניתן באפר הפרה. He says that he definitely had this אפר הפרה על יד אליהו הנביא זכור לטוב. Eliyahu הנביא זכור לטוב brought it to him, ואז נחה עליו רוח הקודש להפליא. And he had this special רוח הקודש. וגם, כי אם גם לא ראיתי כתוב רמז מזה, ולא שמעתי, ליבי אומר לי שהרב ז"ל היה מעלים הדבר העלם נמרץ לרב ענוותנותו. So he says, he didn't really see this written. He just says that he must have been very humble when he didn't say it. ואולי כשם שהביא אליהו הנביא זכור לטוב, אפר פרה דאריזל, כך הביא אפר פרה גם לאמוראים הנ"ל. It could be that he brought it out to the Amorim. The reason why I didn't think that way was only because there is a lineage, and it is written, and from a few places that I've seen, where they actually had leftovers from the TANAIM which survived the Bet HaMikdash, when they left Yerushalayim, and they took it with them. So they had it during exile. There were families and groups of people that actually had it with it, as opposed to it just coming through Aliyah. While the Arizal was only 500 years ago, it was much more present, and it would seem much more difficult to have it at that point in time, still in its original, form. והנה בהכרח צריכים לומר שאליהו הנביא לקח האפר ממה שנשתייר מזמן בית המקדש. It seems that Eliyahu הנביא took what was left over from in the בית המקדש. והוא ידע את מקומו. He knew where it was located. כי הרי אחרי החורבן, after the destruction, אי אפשר לעשות עוד פרה. You can't do another cow. אף על פי שמיכאל השר הגדול עדיין עומד ומקריב תמידין. Even though this angel, Michael, that is still on the altar and sacrificing every single day the timidin, the morning and the evening sacrifices. He doesn't do the paraduma. That we don't. The 9 were done and the 10 will be the Mashiach. אחר חורבן הבית שני לא יהיה עוד פרה דומה עד שיבוא מלך המשיח במהרה בימינו אמן. So he's saying it's not going to be until it comes the Mashiach. There are a few people that have had red heifers and that have found that there was a farmer not far from Lakewood that had one. There are a few in Israel. There are people that are looking for them. And there's a whole discussion how to raise and breed one. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. שוב ראיתי במשנה למלך in הלכות אבל פרק ג' הלכה א', שכתב וזה לשונו וזכורני שראיתי במקום אחד כשגלו לבבל הוליכו עמהם אפר הפרה. That when they went out to Babel, they had with them the efed para. When they went to Babel, that's between Bayit Rishon and Sheni, the first and second temple. They had the actual Moshe Rabbeinu efed para. He has here a note. Let's see what he says here. That's from the Baal Minchat El Azad. Okay. בספר אוהל קדושים הביא מה שספרו בני ארץ ישראל אשר נסעו יחד עם הרב הקדוש בעל דברי יחזקאל משינובה מעיר הקודש ירושלים לצפת תיבנה ותיכונן, שכאשר עברו ליד הר מסוים נעצר והרבה מאוד בתפילה שם. So this rabbi, the Baal Divrei Cheskel, when he was moving from Yerushalayim to Tzfat, they stopped, or he was traveling. They stopped over a mountain, and he started to pray. He said, "I want to stop here," and he got down and he started to meditate and pray and focus at that point in a very unique way. They didn't understand, like, why did he randomly stop here? There's no signs or anything here that's signifying any significance or importance of historical nature. When they told this Rabbi Heller, the Abedin of Sfat, Amar Lahem, he told them, it's well known in the Kabbalah, on this mountain, Nitmenu Klei HaSharet, is buried underneath all the Klei Sharet of the Beit HaMikdash, all the different instruments, or maybe some, or part of them, Im Efer PARAH, with parts of the burnt red heifer, is under this mountain, or in the mountain. When the rabbi went there, he felt it. I know rabbis that can feel Kedusha. I know rabbis that, I know one that had passed away now, that was able to look at a bunch of spoons, if you dipped some in the mikveh and some not, that were not made by a Jewish maker or manufacturer, you would be able to distinguish it by just looking at it. If you tested them, you would be able to identify it. I know rabbis that have been able to look at people and tell them if they're doing certain avonot from feelings of Kedusha, and that's in our own time. So there's definitely a lot behind it. There were a few rabbis that had visited the kever of David HaMelech in Yerushalayim, or the one that's marked his location of where David HaMelech is buried, and had questioned it because they had signaled that they felt no Kedusha there. So it's just interesting. I'm just bringing that up. I don't have the exact source or the names. If I do get it, I'll do it. But that was an interesting point. I heard it from one or two rabbis that I was learning with. So it's interesting on that they felt it. There are a lot of kivadim that are just not accurate. Yeah. There's another one, a famous one that's argued is the one of the Ramchal. That's next to Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Musafi completely dismisses it. He said he says the Ramchal is not buried there. It was never even there when he was a kid. They added it at one point. It was a mistake. Somebody wrote it on the wall. Then they ended up putting a plaque, and next thing you knew it, he said it wasn't. He said that's definitely not there. He said all that area was a cemetery. It was a lot of Tanaim and Rabbi Akiva students and of that nature. Baruch Adonai.